What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So today's video, I want to show you guys this bomb play that'll bomb every single coverage on next gen Madden in Madden 23. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So I am inside the Patriots offensive playbook. Again, I'm inside the Patriots offensive playbook. And as you guys can see, I do have next gen, but a couple things I want to say about next gen. I'm still learning everything. I'm still inside practice mode, but I feel confident enough to bring this to you guys. So that's why I went ahead and created this video for you guys. So be expecting next gen content every now and again, but also still be expecting current gen schemes. And every so often I'll give you guys more and more next gen as I get more and more familiar with it. And it's a couple things I already knew from playing it in the past, but I need to kind of refresh myself because it is a completely different game, as you guys know. But anyways, just want to bring you this real quick. So I'm gonna show you one setup, and well, it's gonna be two setups technically, but they're gonna be against every single coverage. So I got some man. I'm gonna show you some man, some zone, some match, you know, all that fun stuff. So without further ado, man, let's get into it. So as far as personnel goes, you really want to make sure that you have your fastest receiver right here where Tyler Lockett is. So I'm gonna leave him just so you don't think that you need to have top end speed, because obviously I could put DK Metcalf or I could put my boy Marquise Goodwin, but I'm gonna leave Tyler Lockett just because he's like a good median. So if you just don't have that top end speed, but ideally you want your best receiver, your fastest receiver to go here. And I still do like to keep my number one receiver right there. So that's just me personally. But the play we're gonna look at is a really common play, but I'm gonna show you how I like to set it up for next gen. So we're gonna look at PAD bouts. Now what we're gonna do here is first we're gonna come out in dollar, because as you guys know, dollar is still overrated on don't know why this is still the meta. It's been a meta for a long time now, but as you guys can see, we do have safeties in at the linebacker positions, and I'm going to be showing you against, like I said, man, cover 4 drop, cover 2, and cover 3, and then we'll come back and then actually look at match coverage. So let's actually come out in, let's see, what do we want to come out in? Let's just come out in normal cover 3. Why not? Alright, so when you run this, it doesn't matter where you are on the field. Ideally, you'd want to have your slot receiver right here to be to the short side of the field, so he can run from the short side of the field all the way to the wide side. And if you guys watched my last video, just real quick, I'm sorry, I just want to say something. It actually was my game. It was just why I had to go end up and getting the PS5. I wanted to wait on the PS5, but my game was actually messed up. I don't know what was wrong with it. It kept causing it to spin. You guys seen it. And no matter what game I got on, it caused it. And I tried a different controller. It was still the same thing. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get a PS5. So I don't know if it's broke or not. I don't know. But I got a PS5 now. That's how I got it. But anyways, for the setup. So what you want to do is you want to take X. You want to motion him across. You want to put him on a streak. Now, next you want to take square, put them on an in route, just like this. Now, either A, you can snap it like this, or B, you could put R1 on the swing route. Now, for whatever reason, my practice mode glitches. I don't know if you guys do this too, but basically, watch this. So I'm gonna take R1 right here, and I'm gonna put him on the swing route. So notice I put him on a swing, and then notice how it doesn't show it. But when we snap the ball, after I spy this guy, just so I can have a little bit of time, watch what happens after I snap the ball. So he's actually going on his route. Now, what's cool about this play, like I said, this bomb is just crazy. I'm really excited to actually go ahead and hop online and actually use this, but I love what I'm seeing so far. I love it enough that I wanted to bring it to you guys, because no matter whether we're playing online or not, you're going to get this wide open versus cover 3. So the reason why I like this play, I should say, is because now don't mind these spies right here. These are 2 spies. You're not going to see that online, but despite those spies being there, what's really nice about this is that as long as it's not matched, this guy is not going to run with our in route. So what that means is that we have a nice little dot that we can hit right here as long as they don't have a spy. Now, if they happen to have a spy, all you need to do is just slide this way and dump it this way, or you can do the opposite, slide this way and then hit this guy, you know, DK Metcalf right here, if that makes sense. But anyways, moving forward, the reason this works is because this streak right here is pretty much going to be untouched most of the time. They normally don't actually get a jam on him, so normally that's going to be a free release. So if you have a fast tight end, it's really going to help So it's going to help push back that safety. And what's going to happen here is that this cornerback is going to get glitched because of this out route, so he thinks he has to stay there. And the safety is the one that's technically supposed to make this play, but you can tell we're holding the safety with this streak, and then that's just going to allow us to just have all of this room that we want to throw this ball. And it's good because you don't have to hit the bomb, okay? You don't have to hit it, all right? If you want to check it down, if the user is not there, because normally what's going to happen is that no matter where the user is, if he's on this hook zone or this hook zone, when he sees this, he's going to run with it, no matter which one of these he's on. And when that happens, just dump it down low, you know? Or worst case scenario, if there's zone dropping, go ahead and hit your guy in the flats right here, you know? So that's how I like to actually use this play. So what we're going to look at next is cover 4 drop. So let's go to cover 4 drop. What we're going to do is spy this guy right here, and we're going to do the same exact thing, and let's just see, because I actually cover 4 drop is going to be the same thing. So we're going to take X, put him on a streak, motion him over, R1 on a swing, square on the in route, and that is all that we have to do, man. And it's self-explanatory, man. So we're just gonna wait on triangle and just look at triangle. And the good part about that is that safety does not match onto it. I know it might look like it, but if they click on, you still will be able to at least possession catch it at the worst. That's at the worst, because what happens here is that because of cover 4 drop responsibilities, as of right now, he doesn't have nothing to do as of right now. So that's why they kind of force him to keep following this streak, and then by the time he actually doesn't even man lock onto this, so that's why that's going to get wide open. And we have an easy dot right here on the sideline, because again, the cornerback is going to get glitched out. And also again, we're going to have this in route open right here because it is not match coverage. So if the user is not there, then like if the user takes him or him and just turns and runs with our bomb, we'll just dump it down low. Or worst case scenario, if you miss your read, you can actually playmaker one of these two, which is actually what I love doing. So there's just a lot that you can do with this setup, man. Now moving forward, we looked at code 4 drop. Now let's go to man coverage. Now man coverage is a tad bit different because we can actually, you know what, let's go cover 2, because I need you to understand how those safeties are going to split. So when I talk about man coverage, so I'm gonna spy those two, and again, I'm on all Madden practice mode for you guys, so those guys that might not know. So yeah, what I'm gonna do here is motion that guy, I'm gonna baseline, excuse me, to bring that mid read back, and we'll spy those two right here. All right, so we're gonna take R1, still put him on a swing, square. Like I said, I know it looks like this, but I promise soon as we snap the ball, it's gonna be that way. I don't know why they do that, but anyways, triangle, you're gonna be able to split those safeties, and you're gonna get literally just a one-play touchdown just from splitting those safeties. And like I said, man, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I hit the wrong button, and I think I just closed it out. I'm running for you again for cover 2, because I did not mean to do that. Can y'all tell I'm still learning you know, the button placements and stuff, because it's different, you know, it's different than current gen. But anyways, here we go right here. We're at baseline already. I love how fast it is, man. I love how fast that you know, you can change screens and stuff. So really I'm really glad I got this PS5 though, be real. So tired of having that PS4. But anyways, what I wanted to show you, we'll throw it again, and I throw it super late that time. You never want to throw it late. You always want to throw it as soon as those safeties part ways. So I'll show you, I'm talking about on the replay, because I threw that one a little late to show you why you don't want to wait. Because you might think that if you wait, it get more wide open, but you got to throw this ball right. You got to throw this ball right now. So as soon as he's right here, you have to throw it, because if you don't, this safety is going to turn and actually go back and play it. So if you throw this ball too late, you will throw a pick. So you need to throw this ball before you see him open his hips up. Normally, if you wait until he opens his hips, notice how I waited till he opened his hip to throw it. That's what's going to let them come back and click on and get a pick. So you have to throw this ball right now. You know, right now, whoop, now you waited too late. You get the idea. And also what's good about this, again, keep in mind, we can throw this in route every single time if there's no user. And it's only covered right now because of spies on the field. And again, I just told you what to do if they have spies on the field. So again, we'll have this throw wide open, and we can also swing it to our running back if we want to pick up a little extra yards, you know, some little, you know, chip yardage, I like to call it. But now moving forward, I want to talk to you about man coverage. So with man coverage, with two high safeties, it really don't matter which high safeties. I mean, you guys know this route right here is really great stock versus this style of man coverage, but you know, just for poops and giggles, I like to call it, I'll show you the same exact setup. But again, There's nothing wrong with running this play stock. It's still a split man coverage stock. I want to keep everything consistent. That's why I'm showing you now. Realistically, I would never use this setup for man coverage because it's just not the best. It's not the best setup, but you can tell. I just want to show you can still split those safeties, but there's way better man setups. I'm only focused on setups I want to provide to you in this video. And again, you could technically run this play stock. You can, mix it up. You can just keep this post route and, just play around with, these other 3 routes on the field, but keep the post. And you have yourself a nice little man beating offense. But I just needed to show you that you can split the safeties and man coverage. So that was pretty much all I wanted with that. And all right, so I believe that was yeah, so I talked to you about everything, code for drop. So now I kind of want to start looking at mats real quick, and then that's going to be the video. Hopefully this is still going to be a quick video. It seems like it's going to be pretty fast. So what I'm going to do here is actually get used to the substitution still. So I actually want to take out these great defensive linemen and just put in some garbage ones. Because as you guys know, I'm on all Madden practice mode, and with all Madden practice mode, I just get hollered at relentlessly. Some things don't change, about Madden and its practice mode. So I'm just setting it up as if somebody would if they were like playing online. So that's kind of why I'm doing it like this. And I chose dime normal because they have pretty much every single zone coverage that we want. Now we'll take a look at, we'll throw in cover for palms. We'll throw in cover, let's see, we'll throw in cover 6, and we'll actually come out in cover 4 quarters. So we're coming out in cover 4 quarters, okay? Now I'm saving cover 4 palms for last because just as a hint, we can't use none of these setups versus cover 4 palms. And you heard me say none of these setups for a reason, because I want to show you first why this normal setup won't work versus this style of match, actually any match coverage. And again, it's only looking like this because I don't know why this game is glitched like this, but we got the same setup, all right? You just got to trust me, we got the same setup. Now, the only thing that's kind of open is that right there, but it technically depends on if they're, it just depends on their alignment and things of that nature, because that's Madden right there. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but this is just Madden. Practice mode, they kind of do those things right here where they kind of try to go back. You can tell he's trying to fight to get back, but they won't let him. That does happen every now and again in the game. It does, but if that happens, cool, take it, but ideally this is normally not going to be open, okay? And what normally happens is he'll actually turn and actually cover that. But this does happen every so often, okay? I'll run it again for you just so you can see and you'll understand what I mean when I say, I think I just changed the play by accident. Okay, here we go. And you'll see what I mean when I say every so often that happens, but it's not something we can bank off of. And don't worry, I'm about to show you what I love versus all match coverages here in a second. I just want to show you what I was talking about. So, you see what I'm talking about? So it's like it's open, but it's not, and it's just, I personally don't like playing around with EA like that, so I want to show you a better setup. And again, I just kind of want to show you what you'll see. So you'll either see the first time that it happened when we ran this, or a lot of times you'll see where it's like this, where he actually is going to be able to transition real smooth, and then he's going to be able to make up ground. Now, sometimes, depending on who you have at quarterback, and depending on if you know how to rocket catch, I still don't, but I know you can. You can actually throw this ball right here and try to get a good pass lead outside or, straight ahead. It all depends on, but I don't like playing around with EA. Okay, that's what I consider playing around with EA. So my favorite setup versus match coverage is this right here. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same motion because we want everything to look the same to our opponent. We're still gonna take square, put him on his in route, but the only thing that changes, we're gonna take R1 right here. We're gonna put him on a streak. So not a wheel route, not this. We're gonna put him on a streak right here. Now, what's cool about this is that we'll actually have a two-way read just about every single time. Now, this is cover 4 quarters, okay? Keep in mind, it's cover 4 quarters. Look at R1 get open. Now, what I want you to realize is that also, this is why you're going to need your burner, because we're going to make a two-way read to where the user is going to be wrong every single time. The only thing that'll mess you up on this play is you getting sacked, okay? Now, somebody has just double or nothings and all those, 4 boosted defensive line. There's nothing you can do, right? You need a tiny bit of time for this. Now, what's cool about this play is that most of the time your opponent's going to be on a 3-rec, which is actually going to be this guy right here. So a lot of times what your opponent's going to see is this guy right here. So what he's going to do, he's going to take his user, he's going to ride this route right here. And what's going to happen is we're going to be looking up top because this route actually gets into the cover 4 quarters assignment, and that's why he stalls as if to cover him. But when he stalls, we're going to just go right over the top for a 1-play touchdown. So we're going to have that just about every single time. And to show you that it's consistent, I'll run it for you one more time. Let's go and spy. I'll try to spy one person, see if we have time. But again, for any match coverage, you can take X, put them on a streak, R1 on a streak, square on in route. Don't forget the motion over your tight end, and that is going to be all. But look at R1, boom, we could have hit him now. But if you have time, like I said, I probably should have stepped up, but you get the idea. We're gonna get triangle or R1. It all depends on where the user is. Now that was against cover 4 quarters. Okay. Now cover 6 is next. So I'm showing cover 6. I'm saving cover 4 palms for last because it is the only coverage that it does not work against. But there are things we can still do, if that makes sense. I just want you to know that these particular setups do not work versus cover 4 palms. Cover 4 palms does a pretty good job of playing this, and I'll show you that here in a second. But what we can do actually is be able to throw this ball up in there. We get a nice little possession catch. Now it's not a flashy one-play touchdown, no, but it does a good job at creating an opening. So if they're running a lot of cover 6, normally they're going to be on this guy right here again, which is your 3 rec. Or this might be the mid read. I gotta see exactly what this guy is, but he's the middle zone responsibility player. Normally that's where users are gonna go. Now a lot of times they're gonna kind of flash right here. A lot of times they're gonna kind of flash and they may come down because they may not expect this guy to match. Either or, you want to look for this gap right here, and I love to hit this gap. Now normally he does not get rerouted this hard. Him right here, he kind of got rerouted and pushed inside. Normally that doesn't happen, but either way, I still love this setup. But also, please keep in mind that there's better plays to run if you want to attack match coverage. I just kind of wanted to show you this as, you know, one of the things that I like to do. So look at R1. We could have hit him real quick, and I'll try to get enough time. And you see how triangle is going to break open? We could have hit that. And also, like I said, don't forget that sometimes you can have X as well. All right. So again, cover 6 and cover 4 palms are the hardest to run this against, but I'll show you cover 4 palms in a second. But notice how they kind of like do this. This happens a lot in practice mode where they kind of like try to get over. They play a little bump. It's more smoother when you play online. So, you know, like I said, just take this with a grain of salt. So cover 4 palms is the last thing I want to take a look at. And I just want to show you again, this will not work at all versus cover 4 palms. But I just want to show you what it looks like just in case your opponent happens to run it. So I technically only love this against everything other than match coverage, if you want to be honest. Just because it's easier to read for others. So look at R1. You see how R1 is going to get open, but what I was going to show you is triangle. So notice how triangle is no longer open, but we were in cover 4 palms. Okay, so versus cover 4 palms, we won't be able to bomb them. And cover 6 is hard to bomb too. And it's the same thing for cover 9. But everything else, we can pretty much bomb it. All right, so that's why you know, if you're going to use this versus match, you always want to look for this running back wheel route right out the gate. And also, don't forget, a lot of times you can hit these out routes, so you can hit this out route if you want. And the in routes normally never going to be open because match coverage, they're going to guard it unless it's like cover 4, no, cover 6 or cover 9, depending on what side they have it on. You can have this, but most of the time it's not going to be open. And you can always make a read between here and here. And again, you always can potentially hit your out routes. Okay, so don't forget about those. But anyways, I think there's one more. Actually, you know what? There's one more coverage I'm gonna show you. You know, just to kind of make my point on it. So we're actually going to go to nickel. Let's go 3-3-5 Cub because they have a match. Because there's still people, surprisingly to this day, still gonna run this cover 4 match out of you know, this defense. And I want to show you guys that you can. Now I didn't do any personnel or audible adjustments, so I have to spy those 3 because I don't feel like getting sacked relentlessly. And again, I'll show you this one because like I said, versus match, you typically want to put the running back on the wheel. And we'll look. So you see R1 is going to be open. Look at X. X is normally going to be open, but you're always going to have the wheel route or you're going to have that running back. And again, this is just a simple setup to show you that no matter what coverage they run, you're going to have something open, if that makes sense. Something. So right here, your best read is going to be the running back, and also your out routes normally can get open. I'll throw that one time so you can see. Those out routes are really hard to guard, which is why this formation is really good and has been good in years past. Okay. I just want you to understand that this was just the point of this video was a bomb setup, not necessarily try to dink and dunk and, you know, hit your way down the field. This is just if you want a chunk play. And again, don't mind this setup. I promise you it's how it's supposed to be. It's just this game does stuff like this. But like I said, you only want to throw those out routes if you have good matchup also, because you don't want Jared picking off. They will sure pick that off this year and all those. So anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video though. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.